Energy is like money. You've only got a certain amount, so you have to think about what you're spending it on. This refers to the ways activities are done to minimize energy expenditure, so that we have more strength and oomph left to engage in other activities that are meaningful to us. Implementing this principle in our daily life is very individual, as we all have different roles. For example, some people are working, some are retired and have grandkids, some have various other things that they may need to do from day to day. The aim of energy conservation is learning how to find a good balance between the things that we need and enjoy doing. So there are three main principles that this involves, which are prioritizing, planning ahead, and pacing. We're going to talk about each of these three principles. The first is prioritizing tasks, and this refers to looking at what must be done and what could be done at a later time. For example, going to a doctor's appointment might take priority over dusting the living room. Both activities can be very demanding for individuals, as a lot is involved physically. This also involves delegating tasks and asking for help if needed. It's not always easy to do, but people are often very happy to help out when they're asked. You should also eliminate any unnecessary tasks. Sometimes we have chores on our list that are not a priority, and it may not matter if they do not get done. The second principle is planning ahead. Having a planner or using a calendar is a great way to help you plan ahead. Even waking up in the morning and making a schedule can help you distribute the tasks throughout the day. Think about your energy levels and your breathing when you're planning for the most important tasks of the day. This principle can be implemented in the most simple ways. For example, has anyone ever gone to the supermarket and left, then remembered they'd forgotten something? Write a checklist before you go. By planning ahead, we can also arrange how we spend our day and alternate what tasks require more from us. For example, showering on alternate days and completing the heavier household tasks on other days. The last principle is pacing and resting. Does anyone ever complete a task like vacuuming or mowing the lawns, maybe even just showering, and feel very short of breath after? Or get to the end of the day and feel completely exhausted? Pacing ourselves while completing tasks can be a skill that takes practice. This involves listening to our body and resting before feeling tired, instead of rushing and pushing through to get finished and then spending a long time to recover. Breathing slow and steady while doing an activity will make it much easier. You can use the same Borg scale we use during exercise. If you feel slightly breathless, maybe a 2 or 3 on the Borg scale, then keep going. But once you start to feel severe breathlessness, for example a 5 on the Borg scale, it's time to stop. Practice pursed lip breathing and forward lean positions until the breathlessness eases. Then continue with the activity. Here are a few tips on how to save energy when doing our activities of daily living. These are some of the tasks which often make people feel breathless and tired. We will start with personal care. If you find showering and dressing hard work, these ideas might help. Sit on a chair or stool to shower, dry and dress where possible. This will save a lot of energy. Use lukewarm water to reduce steam, as this can make breathlessness worse. Ensure the bathroom is well ventilated. Use a toweling robe to assist with drying. Once you've finished showering, just wrap yourself up in the robe and sit down in a forward lean position, and the robe will do all the work of drying for you. Use a chair when brushing your teeth or shaving can also be helpful. And having rails installed in the bathroom can make showering safe and be helpful for getting on and off the toilet. Next are a few tips to make meal preparation a little easier. Take time to plan ahead your meals and have a list ready for when you go to the supermarket. If possible, make a large meal and put half of it in the freezer for the days you don't really feel like cooking. Do some of the meal preparation earlier in the day when your energy levels are good, so you don't get to the evening and feel too tired to cook. Have a seat when prepping food to save some energy. And ensure your kitchen is well set up with the items you use most often in easy reach. You may need to get a family member to help you set this up. Other household tasks that use a lot of our daily energy stores are things like the laundry, cleaning, and gardening. If possible, sit down when folding or ironing the washing. Use a trolley to take the washing out to the clothesline, as wet washing can be very heavy. This will also stop you reaching down to the ground for each item to hang out. If you find that reaching the clothesline is hard work, try using a clothes rack for smaller items. Cleaning can be very hard work, so it could be easier to spread your chores over the course of the week. Think about one room or maybe one chore per day, rather than trying to do it all at once. And even better, seek help from a younger family member. Here are a few examples of making tasks easier. Avoid standing for long periods of time and sit where possible, for example in the shower. You'll save about 25% of your energy sitting instead of standing. Set up your environment with everything you need in easy to reach places. Be aware of which movements cause you more shortness of breath, for example bending or reaching. Slide objects along a surface rather than lifting them. Whilst putting away things, consider your body positioning. Here is an example of someone putting away utensils on high shelves compared to putting items away that are within reach. And here's someone putting on shoes. It's much easier to sit down and bring your foot up rather than bending over. If you do need to bend over to put your shoes on, make sure you breathe out on the way down and then gently breathe in as you come back up again. Avoid holding your breath, as this will make the task harder and the recovery longer. Here's another example of having the most frequently used items nice and close and within easy reach. Bending down too low cupboards can make some people feel more short of breath. Also, cupboards that are full and cluttered can make finding objects harder and mean that you are bending over for longer. So in summary, we've talked about some principles that can help with your overall energy levels. These include prioritizing, planning, and pacing. Use your energy wisely. Save it for the most important tasks of the day. A little planning and preparation can help to ensure that we are not wasting energy. Check your breathing and ensure you pace yourself through the difficult tasks, and you'll feel better for it. If you need some help with chores around the home, speak with your GP and they might be able to organise a referral to an occupational therapist to visit your home.